What is up, guys? It is day 17 of Preachmess. Today, we'll be talking about obedience. We'll be in Samuel 9 for today, and this is a story about Samuel being obedient to what God wanted for the rest of Israel. So Samuel was a king of Israel, and he was very good at what he did. Why? Because he trusted in God. He was obedient to God. He followed God and no one else but God. For 40 years, he ruled Israel, and he did it very well. He was the best. But with time, you do get older, and you do pass away. And Samuel was very wise, and he saw that he will pass away soon. And he was like, okay, there needs to be someone else in line to be king. As you would think, it would be his son, because, the firstborn son is usually the king. But his firstborn son was very promiscuous, or his sons were very bad, promiscuous people that followed the world. So, after counseling of his friends, they decided that no, let's not go with your sons as kings. They'll destroy Israel. Also, God was like, they'll destroy Israel. Let's not do that. So, Samuel went in again and prayed to God. God, who should be king? Who should I be? God said, let there be nobody. Let just me be king. So he told back and was like, okay, guys, there's going to be nobody but king, but God. And no one liked that. The Israelites wanted a physical king. Even though that was not the best for them, that's what they wanted. So then Samuel was like, okay, they want a physical king. Who should be physical king? Again, Samuel's battling with all this obedience, because he was obedient to God. He was obedient to God for the whole 40 years, and he had to be obedient again to finding a king. Even though his own blood couldn't be king, he had someone else, and he was obedient through that. So God said, you will find someone looking for a donkey in this town, after the town where it's at. But it doesn't really matter. And he said, you'll find them, and then he will be the king. This guy's name is Paul. He was a head taller than everybody else, and he was a very notable, very great guy. So Paul lost a donkey. Well, his father lost a donkey, and the father asked Paul and his brothers to go find the donkey. So let's just say Paul traveled a very long ways to try to find the donkey, a long ways. And let's just say they were running out of food and all this sort of stuff, because they were hiking and traveling for days on end to try to find the donkey, because the donkey, donkey's a lot of money and it's very helpful around the house. So they couldn't find the donkey, but they could find was Samuel. And Samuel, they didn't know really anything about Samuel. All they knew was that he was a very wise guy, and a very godly guy that could guide him and lead him to where the donkey would be. So Paul was like, all right, let's go ask Samuel where the donkey would be, so we can get the donkey back, so our father won't be worried about the donkey and us, because they were so far away. So Paul went up to Samuel and was like, okay, I have a question. Where is my donkey at? Now Samuel said, the donkey is safe and it is found. You will be found. So therefore, and later story, Paul becomes the king and he rules and he's great and very good. But he gets there because Samuel was obedient to God. And that's a little... Sorry, I'm still recovering from a sickness. And that's because Samuel was obedient to God. Now, I put the story of obedience in 1 Samuel 9 and how Samuel was obedient, because it wasn't a very strong, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, it was a huge obedient, it was huge, right? It was huge, but it was kind of minute in a way as well. Because in life, being obedient to God, a lot of times it's not going to be some huge altering thing where you have to be obedient to God. And sometimes it just be small things and just little things that you have to be obedient to God in. Maybe it's just to be obedient to God. Okay, God's calling in your heart. Okay, go talk to this person today. Go to all this stuff. It's just about being obedient. Being obedient to God, you will win. You will be successful. Maybe you won't think you're successful, but to God's heart, you will be successful, and you will win in life when you're obedient to God. And being obedient to God in little things adds up to being big things, as Samuel was obedient to God in the little things, as he was obedient to finding a king for Israel, and which he did, and he did find Paul, which was a great guy and helped lead Israel for many more years. The key factor is being obedient to God can be in different ways, in many different ways. The fact is being obedient to God, big or small. So let's all be obedient to God, because that's what we need to be, because that's what God calls us to be. I hope that wasn't bad, And if it was, please tell me why. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.